Gears, welcome to the Onyx Academy, where I will be covering the Demolitions in today's video. Everything about the class will be covered, giving you 2 different meta builds, all within 6 minutes. These builds are purely meta that most people gravitate to, but if these don't match up with your playstyle, then be sure to change these up to suit yourself. With that out of the way, let's begin. Starting with the ultimate for this class, Artillery Strike, where you drop 5 high damage artillery shells onto any enemy you mark. There is no duration to this ability, but it does have a 10-minute cooldown, though dealing damage will reduce this faster. Artillery Strike's damage can be heavily inflated by skill cards and is great for taking out bosses. The Demolitions class can mark up to 5 enemies simultaneously, and these marks last for twice as long, 20 seconds in total. Perfect for setting up your ultimate. Starting each match as the Demolitions, you are given a Lancer, Boom Shot, and Snub Pistol. Depending on your skill card choices, you may want to swap your Lancer for a GL variant. Time for the first build, the Anarchy build. Focusing heavily on your Artillery Strike ultimate to deal big damage and take out those tough enemies. Your skill card choices are Spotter Support. Enemies marked by teammates will have up to 7 additional artillery rounds dropped onto them as well. Razor Hail. Explosive damage will cause up to 30% additional bleeding damage per second. Up to 150% additional damage, even affecting Artillery Strike. Here you have a choice. Custom Lancer GL, granting up to 60% additional damage with the Lancer GL specifically. This only affects the ballistic damage and not the grenade damage itself. Custom Boom Shot, granting up to 60% additional damage with boom shots and up to 30% additional active effects. Benefits Razor Hail as well. Here you have another choice. Gambit, allowing the demo to plant up to 8 grenades around the map. The demo has no way of regenerating grenades naturally. Officer's Prerogative. Artillery Strike will drop up to 6 additional bombs on the demo's marked targets. Up to 11 in total, but only affects the 5 targets marked by the demo themselves. Here you have a choice. Grenade Satchel. Increases carrying capacity of grenades by up to an additional 6. Confirmed Kill. Enemies killed by the direct impact of Artillery Strike will grant up to 25 seconds of ultimate cooldown. For your perks, take them in this order. Ultimate cooldown, granting up to 50% cooldown on Artillery Strike. This gives a lot of value, cutting the cooldown by 5 minutes. Assault Rifle damage, increasing the damage of all Assault Rifle ballistic damage by up to 50%. Still does nothing for the Lancer GL grenade damage. Ammo regeneration, grants up to 100% ammo regeneration for all weapons. Will slowly grant an extra boom shot when idle, but not enough to be dependable. Critical damage, increasing all critical damage dealt by up to 50%. Artillery Strike cannot critically hit, and boom shots aren't easy to aim, but will benefit if you can land it. When playing Horde Frenzy, or another shorter Horde mode, only invest into ultimate cooldown. Other perks will not heavily benefit this build, and you don't want to starve your engineer of energy. Keep your boom shots and possibly grab a Lancer GL and frag grenades, especially if you have skill cards to buff these. Your pistol choice is irrelevant. Do as much damage to get your ultimate back, and prioritise bigger enemies and bosses. An Anarchy build works best with Tactician. Interrogation will be amazing to mark all enemies on the map, eviscerating them with your Artillery Strike. Also grants additional ultimate cooldown and ammo. Mechanic, Robotics Expert, or Architect. A Weapon Locker, singular, will be needed for the several boom shots needed, and the faster reload speed skill cards will benefit this even more. This build struggles when paired with Protector. The drop shield is capable of stopping your boom shots and artillery from hitting enemies, especially if they do make it inside. Marksman. Bigger targets like Scions can still be taken out by a single bullet from this class, nullifying your attempts to kill them. This won't affect most bosses though. Taking the Anarchy build into Horde can make enemy waves seem pitifully easy, except when these mutators are around. Modify or take another build with these around. Reduced explosive damage, reduced bleeding damage, ultra slow recharge, close range gambit. The Anarchy build works up to and including master difficulty, requiring a minimum class level of 12, though certain optional cards can take this up to a level 18 requirement. Deal lots of bleeding damage and focus larger targets, staying in cover as much as possible. Time for the second build. I have called this one the GL Specialist build, focusing all your efforts on this weapon. Using explosives and bleeding to stack ballistic damage with pinpoint accuracy. Your skill cards will be fixed as the following: Bullet Boost, granting up to 50% additional ballistic damage for 15 seconds per stack, stacking up to 200%. Explosive and bleed kills will trigger this buff, granting a lot of extra damage when it activates. Spotter Support. All marked enemies will have 7 artillery bombs dropped on them, useful for stacking up your bullet boost skill card by spreading your damage. Custom Lancer GL. Increasing the ballistic damage of this weapon and active effects by up to 30%. This damage stacks with the bullet boost skill card and assault rifle damage perk as well. Lancer GL Mastery. Reducing the recoil by up to 95% and granting up to 13% additional crit damage. The damage boost is nothing noteworthy, but the recoil boost almost completely cancels out any recoil this weapon has. Good Kill. Killing enemies has a chance to drop an ammo crate when close to other teammates. These only restore ballistic damage, but are guaranteed at higher ranks. Perks this time should be taken in this order: Assault Rifle Damage, granting up to 50% additional damage with all assault rifles. Stacks with Bullet Boost, but doesn't increase the damage of the Lancer GL's grenades. Ultimate Cooldown, reducing the cooldown of artillery strike by up to 50%. Critical Damage. Critical hits will deal up to 50% additional damage, stacking with the bonus from Lancer GL Mastery. Ammo Regeneration, allowing up to 100% ammo regeneration for all weapons, with a steady supply of ballistic ammo. If you are playing a shorter game mode, like Horde Frenzy, I would suggest splitting your energy between assault rifle damage and ultimate cooldown. Typically 6 or 7 points into each, but max them out if your engineer has an energy surplus. Swap out your Lancer for the GL variant, and possibly pick up some frag grenades. Keep hold of your boom shot unless you want to swap it out for another explosive weapon. Your pistol choice does not matter once again. The GL Specialist build synergizes with Veteran. Living Legend will grant you an aimbot for extra critical hit, and while benefiting from this, your kills are guaranteed to drop ammo. Tactician. Once again here because they can mark all enemies on a map with interrogation. Also generates explosive ammo and gives more ultimate cooldown. This demo build struggles against Slugger. Planted grenades on a strong enough slugger can wipe out small enemies, giving you less chances to stack bullet boost. Marksman. Similar to the slugger, this class can take out most small enemies very quickly. Although this build is a favourite of mine, I simply avoid it or modify it heavily when these mutators are active in Horde. Reduced explosive damage, reduced bleed damage, even tougher enemies, ultra slow recharge, close range gambit. This GL Specialist build will work up to and including master difficulty, requiring a minimum class level of 19. Stack damage with explosive kills, unleash ballistic damage, and stay nearby teammates. Keeping these videos short, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Other social links are in the description box below. Take it easy guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.